As I drop both Darren and Zahea on their heads, and I walked back to the back after that triple threat match, I couldn't help but to think. I've been thinking a lot recently, and every time I keep thinking about this, I keep getting the same answer, which honestly I have not said anything about because, well, who would care what I say, right? I'm a convict, I'm evil, I'm a psychopath, I'm a serial killer in the making. But then I realize I don't care, because, honestly, I think what everyone needs for once in their life is an outsider giving them the answers they so desperately need. And no matter how many people are close to you, sometimes they're not going to give you the answers you need. So allow me to say what I think a lot of people have been wanting to say. Well, the ones that aren't blindlessly following the words of other people all for the sake of staying in a comfortable little bubble. Everyone is at fault. A lot of you have always seemed to want to question and point the finger of who's at fault, who's to blame for all of this, who isn't doing anything, and who is doing a lot. When in reality, it's your fault. There is no innocent in this situation. Let's get with the obvious one, shall we? I'll get to the obvious one because I see a lot of you are getting very uncomfortable by what I'm about to say. So let's get to the obvious one, the one that's going to make you feel a little bit more warm and cozy in your soul. The blood trail is to blame. It all bases off the actions of one man who couldn't let go of his bitterness, his hatred, his fury for the fact that he was never given a choice or a chance to be what me and countless others who share a locker room, lace up a pair of boots, come back needing 25 stitches and a cold one. He never got that chance. And instead of moving on with his life, he chose to keep that hatred, keep that bitterness, keep that feeling of resentment. And when the time was right, he planned an attack on the very thing we love. And it worked. Because while everyone was hating Rokuro Kajima for betraying the people and the trust, What people didn't realize was that Rock was a puppet the entire time, and Kinshiro was building something behind the scenes. Well, how did you not know, you may say? Oh, it was told by you. But, sorry, getting ahead of myself. I said I'll deal with the other side later. Let's get back to Kinshiro. Ah, yes. The man who could not let go of the past, and he kept up. And so, he watched and watched and watched. He watched every mistake you made. He watched every high, every low. He watched it all. And when the time was right, he struck. Because he knew that he was not going to have a force to stop him. He knew that everyone would be blind to what's really happening. He knew that you would all be caught with your pants down because you chose to ignore what was really going on. And just to show how callous you people really are, you've yet to realize that Rock was just as much of a victim as the countless people that have been hurt by the blood trail. More than a few select that want to make themselves victims. And so he grew an empire. He brought in the hellhounds, and he found out that it was a hydra with multiple heads, and he brought in all these people, and all he has to do is watch. He doesn't even have to lift a damn finger. He just has to watch. And if he has to get his hands dirty, then by all means he can. It doesn't matter whether he wins or loses. He won. In his eyes, he's done it. He has made you all feel the very pain he has been feeling for the last 9.5 years. You do not know the extent of a man that has nothing to lose. You may pretend like you know, but you really don't know. Kinshiro was a man that has nothing to lose, and he cares not. He just wants to see you suffer. And he's doing a damn good job at it. He is watching all of you show your true selves, turn on each other, eat each other alive, and for what? You can't let go. Or in some cases, you don't want to face the reality of things. And hatred, well, they're leeches. Leeching off on the hatred that everyone feels for the blood trail. Are they part of the blood trail or not? It doesn't matter. They are leeches feeding off the hatred, the bitterness, the fury, and the anger that everyone feels whenever Kinshiro or the blood trail is mentioned. All the while being used by Kinshiro as a meat shield. Or I can just say what the Syndicate was, a group made by Gnarly taking advantage of what the blood trail was doing just so he can stop, just so he can have his moment of pettiness and vengeance in the sun. Speaking of which, I hope you like that belt, Justin. Because soon, oh very soon, little pup, you're going to realize you're not the big bad wolf you think you are. You're just an omega that hasn't been properly disciplined yet. But oh, you'll find out. You'll find out. And when you do, won't find yourself with allies near you, because they'll either be occupied or turned. Because trust me, there's weakness. There's weakness in the blood trail. There's weakness in hatred. There's weakness in them. You just haven't found it yet because you're too busy trying to stop hard-headed people and others from eating each other alive because their own personal emotions get the better of them. Which leads me to the next part. How is it that the side of justice and good and the light, how are they to blame? Oh, simple. They're the reasons the monsters are created in the first place. You create the monsters that you see before you now. The problem is you just don't want to take accountability for it. You don't want to admit that you are the reason why they are the way they are. And in some way, you're happy they are the way they are because you've always had a sick fascination of seeing someone break. You want a good example? Here's one. Remember earlier when I said no one knew who the real head of the blood trail were? And remember when I said that you were told, but you ignored who said anything? Revi said that something was up. Malik said that something was up. Hell, even Zach. 3 people. But you didn't listen to them. Because at the time when Revi was saying something, no one wanted to listen to Revi because they were still all iffy and mad about her actions. No one listened to Zach and Malik because, well, you do one thing to try to help somebody in their own way, and the whole world wants to say you're shady, distrusting, and you don't do anything for anybody. Let's be perfectly honest. Any sane person would look at how you treat those 2 and realize, God, no fucking wonder they don't want to help. If they were not helping at all. Why should they? Why should they help you? Hey, here's a better question. Even if they were hiding something, why should they tell you? You ignored them the first time, and better yet, you've shown multiple times than not that they have no reason to tell you anything because you have shown that they need to earn your trust, which they don't have to earn shit. They put in that trust. And I speak as somebody who has known one of those people longer than Hit Kid and Needham were sitting in the nosebleed seats at Takedown waiting for somebody to notice them while little Hit Kid was doing his British Dave Meltzer and writing reviews. And James was just hoping and praying for a break. After working in little bars back in your hometown of Manchester. You create the monsters that you see. Ovana? Are we really surprised that Ovana finally had enough? I mean, you are the same people who sat there and called her a brat because she wanted to pay back Amber for what she did to somebody that she truly cares about. And I find it utterly hilarious that somebody like you, Hit Kid, would condemn her for that. Which, isn't it funny that at Redemption and that match with Beryl and Carmen, what were you doing during that? Oh, right! You were wishing for Carmen's death because of what happened to Mari Pan. Oh, hit! Did you remember that you even were dating Mari Pan? Because it almost sounds like the only time Mari Pan's ever mentioned is when Carmen Cortez is somewhere on the scene, which should say a lot. You condemn Ovana for the very thing you're doing right now. And you have the nerve to call her a brat. You turn on Zack Stone because you don't like his attitude. When I have seen you love people for a whole lot fucking worse. So you mean to tell me that a man that got fed up with everything and decided to say fuck it, fuck you and the whole entire world, and he decided to be for himself, is a far worse person than a convicted killer? So you show more forgiveness and mercy for somebody like Revy Two Hands. Not to say that Revy's a bad person. She's not. Even with the murdering. Does she deserve it? That's up to you. But I just find it interesting that I've seen you give serial killers more respect and chances and have grown to care for them than somebody who's just essentially a byproduct of what you are and how you feel. You call Malik shady for hiding something, when I think the better question is, what can I do to gain Malik Brown's trust so I can figure out what he knows? Because he doesn't have to explain shit to you. He doesn't have to explain anything to a lot of you, because you have made it your very personal fucking mission to hate the man and call him shady, but yet forget the fact that he doesn't have to earn a damn thing. It's the other way around. You have to earn his trust, because James, for all your yelling and your bravado and your bullshit, I have yet to see you go up to Malik and truly ask him why. I have yet to see you do that. You didn't. And don't tell me you did, because there is 50 plus guys in that locker room at DCA and 20 to 30 plus guys in that UWL locker room that can tell you that you didn't even look in his fucking view. So tell me, all this could have been avoided if you actually asked why, but you didn't, because you were still all caught up about what happened at Proving Ground years ago. Was the plan perfect? No, it wasn't. But fuck, at least he did something, or tried to do something. He tried to do something. He tried to save whoever he could save in that match. He tried. Can't say the same for a lot of you. Fuck, I can't say the same for you, James. Because, contrary to popular belief, the only reason you even got into the blood trail thing was by accident anyway. And even then, it wasn't even about the blood trail to you. It was all about Gnarly. It was just you just wanted to take your vengeance out on Gnarly. Had nothing to do with the blood trail. But now we're going to pretend, but now you're at that point where we're going to pretend like we care about what happens to the blood trail, right? Let me remind you, the only reason James Needham is even truly caring about this is just because he wants to be spiteful to the league. That's it. Like, I see it. You just want to be spiteful. You don't really fucking care. You just want to be spiteful. And that's the problem with a lot of you. You only do things to spite somebody because they're living rent-free in your head and they've done nothing. And yet all you had to do was ask, and you don't even do that. You don't ask why Zach and Malik are quiet, you just assume. You don't ask what Malik is hiding or if he is hiding anything, you just assume. Is Malik hiding something? Yes. Is it any of your fucking business? No. Except the people that actually bother to want to know. The people around him that wants to actually understand why instead of just jump to conclusions and assumptions, which goes back to why the monsters you make are here. There is a reason why people like Aubrey Williams, Ovana, Akira Yukimura, Carmen Cortez, Revi, there's reasons why these women and certain men exist the way they do. Hell, Charles to an extent at some point. There's a reason why. Because you don't think about the actions that you take. You don't think about the things you do. You just do them. And when it all backfires in front of you, you are so shocked about the outcome, when in reality, you should have expected it because that's what you wanted in the end. Don't, and I dare you to get mad at what I'm saying, because quite frankly, you have no leg to stand on, because it's true. You've created these monsters, and you've turned away your help, all for your own pride, all for your own ego, all for your own narrative, all so you can be the hero of your own story, but in reality, you're the villain of your own story and everyone else's. They don't see it yet, but they will. And quite frankly, if you don't see it, then you will be the definition of insanity. You will repeat the same things over and over again, expecting a different outcome, but in reality, all you're going to get is more hurt people, hurting people, more broken people, breaking people, and then it's going to get to the point where you're going to find yourself with nothing. You want honest to God change? Then how about you actually fight for it? Legitimately fight for it. Why don't you go and put the effort of swallowing your pride and stop blaming everyone else and start looking into the fucking mirror and realize that maybe you are just as much the reason for a lot of it happening. On one side, we have a man who could not let go of his past and let his vengeance, his desire for revenge, and his greedy need for satisfaction turn him into what he is today, and he stands upon a throne of skulls and crushed dreams and broken mental psyches, and he watches the civilization eat each other alive. And on the other side, you have a conglomeration of people who continue to make the very same mistakes over and over and over and over again, and they question why they always get hurt. They question why they always have wars. They question why they never get a happy ending. The reason why is because you make the same mistakes and you will never get your happy ending until you actually try. It's one thing to cry and ask for forgiveness. It's another thing when you actually put in the effort to try, and a lot of you don't. And it will continue on and on and on, and all you will do is make more Akira Yukimoras. You will make more Carmen Cortezes. You will make more Lightnings. You'll make more Ovanas. You'll make more Amber Stevens. You'll make more Trixies. You'll make more Zach Stones. You'll make more Malik Browns. You'll make more Charles Schultzes. You'll make more Steven Zanes. You'll make more Zahia Steels. You'll make more of those if you continue this path you're taking. But what do I know? I'm a convict in a lot of your eyes. I'm a felon. I'm evil. I'm Vin Taylor. Therefore, I'm the devil. And you shouldn't listen to the devil, right? But hey, continue. Continue making excuses for yourself. Continue believing that you are on the right side. Continue to believe that what you do is not wrong. Continue to believe that what I'm saying means absolutely nothing. Continue these trains of thoughts, and trust me, the results that are going to happen out of it are not going to be to your liking. And you'll have no one to blame but yourself.